So students, so in this video we are going to talk about cells division and cell cycle. So the point is that in this paragraph we would like to talk about if there is any errors, okay, in the cell division. Okay, so what will be the consequence? Cells normally divided in a controlled way, okay, or what we say is orderly event. Okay, what does it mean? Because in the cell division, okay, we have the interphase and then prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and then the cytoplasmic division. Every process, every stage, okay, they happen one by one in a correct order, okay, but not in a random order. Okay, so that's why it's a very controlled way or the orderly event. Okay, but the point is that why, okay, why will the cell division go wrong? Okay, because the DNA involved in maintaining the orderly event in the cell cycle is damaged. Okay, that's what we call the mutation. Okay, that's what we call the mutation. Okay, because you can recall some concepts in chapter 2. Okay, we know that the nucleus, okay, is the command center in the cell. Okay, so the nucleus is responsible for controlling the cell activity, including cell division. Okay, so the point is that if the DNA in the nucleus, okay, they are damaged, and unfortunately that's the part, okay, the DNA, okay, that's the part to control the cell division. Okay, so the cell will divide more rapidly and endlessly, okay, unstoppable, okay. So they keep dividing and dividing, okay, and this uncontrolled cell division will result in a mass of abnormal cells. Okay, what we call the abnormal cell because they divided more rapidly, okay, they divided unstoppably. Okay, so we will call them tumor. Okay, but the point is that is the tumor, okay, they must become cancer? Not really, okay, because tumor may be benign or malignant. Okay, so the point is that, okay, the benign tumor, they do not spread to other parts of the body. Okay, they may just keep into the certain specific organs. For example, okay, the lung cells, okay, they may divided more rapidly and form the tumors. Okay, and then this tumor, if they are benign, okay, they will just stay in the lungs. Okay, so normally it's not that life threatening unless, okay, the mass of the tumor, okay, the abnormal cell, they press against the important organs. Okay, so for example, if the tumor, okay, they do not spread away, that's good. That's a good news, but the bad news will be that the mass of the abnormal cell, they may press against the important organs. If the tumor is in the brain, the tumor will press against the brain cells, okay, and it may affect our maybe the sensation or the motor activity. Okay, but for the malignant, okay, for the malignant tumor, okay, so we can see that the malignant tumor is cancer because the cells, they can break off from the tumor and travel from the blood and the lymph to other parts of the body. Okay, so at the new site, the cell may grow into another tumor, okay, and cause severe damage to the body. For example, if there are only tumor cells in the lungs, okay, initially, okay, at the very beginning. But if the tumor, okay, they are malignant tumor, they can travel from the lungs to your brain. Okay, so it will affect, okay, other organs. Okay, so in this picture you can see that, for example, the primary tumor is in the large intestine. Okay, in this picture it say that it's unknown. Okay, but I tell you, okay, just an example. Okay, there is a mass of tumor, okay, in the large intestine, but unfortunately, okay, the tumor, okay, they break off from the tumor cells, okay, and then they go to the blood, and then they go to the lymph, okay, and travel from the bloodstream and lymph vessel to reach other organs. For example, the lungs, for example, the brains. Okay, the brain, not the brains. Okay, brain. Okay, so the point is that, so the tumor will not only affect your large intestine, but also it will affect your lungs and brain function. Okay, so that's why we call it malignant tumor. Okay, they can travel. Okay, so and then we need to try to save ourselves. Okay, to survive. So we may have some drugs. Okay, which prevents the DNA from replicating. And then we would like to slow down the growth of the malignant tumors. Okay, so what do we say? Oh, to slow down the growth of the malignant tumor. Okay, that means we want to slow down the cell division of the malignant tumors. Okay, slow down the cell division. Okay, but how? Okay, that's the question. Okay, we will discuss later. So, and then these drugs, okay, we know that it will also affect the normal cell, because the normal cell and the malignant tumor, okay, the cancer cells, they also divide. Okay, they also divide. But for the cancer cell, they just keep dividing very rapidly, very actively. But for the normal cell, they divide in a very controlled way. Okay, so, and then the last sentence is that the drugs, okay, they are more effective against the cancer cells, but not the normal cell. Okay, we need to know the reason. Okay, we need to know it. Okay, but before that, okay, I would like to talk about the cell cycle first. Okay, anything wrong in the cell cycle? Okay, so very quick recap of the concept. The major stages in cell cycle. Okay, interphase, and then the nuclear division, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Remember, they must be in a order, correct order. Okay, and then the cytoplasmic division. Okay, so I would like to talk about the interphase first. Okay, for the interphase. Okay, because interphase is the duration. Okay, is the phase between two successive cell division. After one cell division, and then the cell will wait and growth. Okay, wait, and then for the next cell division. So in this period, there may be new organelles produced, and also the cell will grow into its maximum size. Okay, and remember that the cell will not keep increasing the size, because we would like to keep a high surface area to volume ratio. You can check our worksheet, okay, to recall the concept. Okay, and I would like to highlight the third one, DNA replication, because interphase, okay, at the end of the interphase, okay, actually the cells, okay, they are going to prepare for the cell division. Okay, and one very important process is to replicate the DNA replication. Okay, so in this part, why do I want to recall this concept? Because I want you to think about it. Okay, so in the paragraph, we know that once the DNA involved in maintaining the orderly event in the cell cycle is damaged, the cells may divide more rapidly and endlessly. Okay, why rapidly? Okay, any process, okay, we can keep it, make it faster, and then the cell will divide more rapidly. Okay, we call the cell cycle, the process, the order, and then think about it. If the cells divide more rapidly, which stages, okay, maybe one stage or stages, okay, do they spend the shortest time, okay, to make the whole process rapidly? Okay, so in this MC question, I want you to think about it. Okay, after I explain the answer, okay, explain the question, okay, I want you to think about it for 10 seconds. Okay, and if you think 10 seconds are not enough for me to learn, okay, and then you can pause the video and think maybe for about 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute is maximum. Okay, so which of the following statements describe the uncontrolled cell division in tumor formation correctly? Okay, so the following answer, actually all of them, okay, they make sense. It seems correct. Okay, but actually answer only one. So for the option A, the sister chromatids are separated rapidly during the anaphase. It makes sense, because once the sister chromatid, they are separated they are separate rapidly, okay, and then the cell can be divided, okay, rapidly, because we can proceed to the cytoplasmic division stage earlier, okay. So that's option A. And option B, okay, the cytoplasm is divided rapidly during cytoplasmic division, okay, or a simple idea, okay, or if this stage, okay, we can finish it earlier, and then we can proceed to the interphase earlier, okay, and wait for the next cell division, okay. So we divide the cell earlier, okay. And then the option C, the cells spends shorter time on interphase, okay. So for the interphase, the cell will grow, make new organelles, okay, mitochondria, corpus, or something like that, okay. And at the end of the interphase, okay, the cell prepare for the cell division, and then DNA replicates, okay. And then the cell can be ready for the cell division, okay. So if the cell spend shorter time on interphase, it seems that it can shorten the time for the whole cell cycle, okay. And then for option D, the chromosomes, okay, they line up in the middle of the cell rapidly during the metaphase. It also makes sense because after the chromosome, they line up in the middle of the cell, and then they can be separate away from each other to the opposite pole earlier, okay. So all of them, they seem to be correct, okay, but answer, okay, there is only one answer, and then you will have 10 seconds to think about the answer, okay. Or if you think that 10 seconds are not enough, okay, pause the video and wait for 1 minute. Okay, so welcome back, okay, and then I hope you can get the correct answer. The answer is C. The cancer cells, okay, they spend shorter time on interphase, okay, and there is a very important concept. They're actively dividing cells, okay. For example, that means they undergo cell division actively, okay, very quickly, okay. They spend shorter time on the interphase because, okay, the very important process, okay, the stage is that DNA replication, okay. After DNA replication, actually the cell will proceed to next process, okay, and then the chromosome will lie up in the middle of the cell, and then will be separated to the opposite pole, okay. So the point is that the DNA replication is the key process, okay, to start the DNA to cell division, okay, for cell division, okay. So that's the key concept, okay, for the MC question. So in this diagram, you in these two tables, okay, you will know that, for example, for the normal body cells, okay, I just make some figures, okay, for the time, okay, just a number, okay. So for the skin cells, okay, normal cell, they may spend, okay, 120 minutes, 2 hours for the interphase, okay, and then 50 minutes for the mitosis, and then 5 minutes for the cytoplasmic division, and then you can add them up, okay, to get a total time for the whole cell cycle, okay. But the point is that for the mutated body cell, uncontrolled cell division, the skin tumor cells, okay, unluckily you may get skin cancer, okay, but for this situation, I just make it all tumor cells, okay. So why do they divide the cell, or why can they divide the cell rapidly, okay? Because they just spend 10 minutes for the interphase, okay. So that means, okay, after 10 minutes, they will replicate the DNA, and then they will proceed to the next process, mitosis and cytoplasmic division. So and then after that, you can add them up, okay, to calculate the final number, okay, and then you can compare the total time, okay. You will know that the mutated cell, the tumor cells, okay, they just need shorter time for the whole cell cycle, and then 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8 cells, okay. So you will see that in the same period of time, okay, given, so the mutated body cell, they will produce more daughter cells than the normal cells, okay. Okay, so let's talk about the questions in this exercise. So for the question 1, okay, we need to talk about 2 ways a malignant tumor can cause damage to the body. Okay, so for the first answer, okay, it can be extracted from the paragraph. Okay, because it's talking about if the size of the tumor becomes very large, okay, it will press against the important organs. Okay, as I said before, if the tumor, okay, they are forming, okay, near the normal cells, okay, so probably they just keep dividing rapidly. Okay, so in this picture you will know that the tumor cells in the lungs, okay, they will press against the normal cells in the lungs, okay, and then it will affect the normal function, okay, the gases exchange in our lungs. Or if the tumor cells, okay, they are in our brain, okay, so actually the tumor cells, it will press against the normal brain cells, okay, it will affect the nervous system. Okay, so and the second hint is that I want you to think about since the cancer cells, they are actively dividing cells, okay, so I want you to think about the demand of the nutrients and energy of the cancer cells and any side effects on our body. Okay, so 1 and 2. So for the question 2, okay, how can the drugs which prevent the DNA replication, okay, how can they slow down the growth of the malignant tumors? Okay, so I want you to recall the case of the mature red cell because it's related to the DNA replication. For the mature red cell, because they do not have it, they do not have nucleus, they do not have DNA, so that's why the red cell, they cannot perform, okay, they cannot undergo the DNA replication, so that's why they cannot undergo the cell division. Okay, so in this question, I'm not talking about the drugs can eliminate or to destroy the DNA in the cancer cell. Okay, I just tell you the drugs can prevent the DNA replication. Okay, so I want you to think about what will be the effect of the drugs preventing DNA replication of the cancer cells. Okay, what will be the effect? Okay, of course this effect is on the growth of the malignant tumors. Okay, that means how can the drugs slow down the cell division of the malignant tumors? Okay, any relationship between the DNA replication and the cell division. Okay, so and for the question 3, we call the why are the drugs more effective against the cancer cells than the normal cells? Okay, you know that the normal cells and the cancer cells, both of them can undergo cell division, but the difference is that the cancer cells, they can divide more rapidly. Okay, because the concept is that the cancer cells, they can perform DNA replication more frequently than the normal cells. Okay, so that's the key point, okay, for this question. 2 marks. 1 mark is for this sentence. Okay, at least you know that the logic is that the cancer cells, okay, they can replicate DNA more frequently than the normal cells. Okay, so I want you to think about which type of the cells, okay, cancer cell or normal cell, which one is more sensitive to the drugs. So what's the meaning of more sensitive to the drugs? That means the drugs can affect the growth, okay, that particular cells, okay, most. So think about what is the target of the drugs. What is the function of the drugs? The drugs is to prevent the DNA replication. So what is the aim of the drugs? Okay, apart from prevent the DNA replication, what process, okay, do the drugs want to prevent or stop? Okay, so I hope that this video does not only to help you to do the questions 1, 2, 3, but also clarify the concept of cell division in the cancer cells or in the tumor cells. Okay, so I hope this video is helpful for you. Okay, bye bye.